Good morning. Good morning. How is everybody doing today? We are at Friday, which is amazing. I just took a beautiful walk with my dog and it is just absolutely gorgeous. And I am in such gratitude for being alive and being able to experience this beautiful day. And I hope you are too. So whether you're joining live or on the replay, please say hello. Please let me know where you are tuning in from, and also share with me some of your experiences when you hear what I am chatting with you about today. And so I titled this live, It's the Little Things, because, when we talk about subconscious racism, microaggressions, it really is like a mosquito bite. It's just the tiny little things that people of color and people who are minoritized or in underserved communities endure on a daily basis that just slowly eat away at the veneer, our psyche, our well-being, in ways that sometimes are obvious, sometimes aren't so obvious until they kind of build up to, if you will, an allergic reaction or a bump or an itch or whatever you want to call it. And so it reminded me of a recent experience I had last month in, maybe it was April, in Target in New Jersey. I went to New Jersey to visit my dad, and we were undertaking the task of getting furniture for my mom's old bedroom, because we had to get rid of everything that was in there. It was just old and broken, and, fresh start and a nice place to stay when I go. So I was looking at some bedside tables, and all they had was the, what do you call it? The display, what do you call it? The, whatever's out there for you to see, feel, and touch. And I want it new from the back. So I called over one of the associates who, he had an accent that meant that, had me believe he wasn't born in this country, maybe of African descent, but I didn't pry. And he was willing to go in the back, and he, checked the computer and found a new one for me. And as we were waiting, he brought it up, took it out of the box. I inspected it because the other two that I saw, I needed two of them, had different scratches and paint marks and, obviously manhandles from being out there on display the whole time. And when he was showing me the new one, a manager, a white manager, or maybe he was a coworker, came up to him, and as he was coming up to him, I had asked if perhaps there was another one in the back, or if I could get a discount if there wasn't on the second one that had some damage. And he checked his little handheld computer again, and he said, yeah, there is another one in the back. I can get it for you. And the white manager at that point said, she doesn't need it. She'll be fine. They'll give her a discount. She's okay. And in that moment, my dad was standing there with me, and, he hates for me to make a fuss. He's from that era that is so terrified of upsetting or making white people uncomfortable. He grew up in Jim Crow South. So it's just like, and I'm like, you know what? Those days are over. And I said, no. I politely said, no, I would prefer to have something new in the box that hasn't been manhandled and touched. I mean, come on, after all, we're still kind of in a pandemic. I don't want to bring something home with other people's cooties. And that's been how I've always been. It didn't take a pandemic for me to be like one of the biggest pain in the butt germaphobes on the earth. And so my point in sharing that with you was, I looked at this guy, and, if we talk about classism or stations in life, how am I going to say this right? I obviously am at a higher socioeconomic status than this gentleman was by his appearance. And I remember reading quotes not only from Lyndon Johnson, but in Isabel Wilkerson's book, Caste, that the lowest white individual feel superior to the highest Black individual, the highest person of color. And I was experiencing that in that moment. Not that I came across as superior. I mean, hey, it was Jersey. We were working. It was hot. I had on jeans and a t-shirt. You know, nobody knows what's in my wallet or what's in my bank account. But I'm looking at it in terms as being the customer, you know, customer service, the customer always being right, the customer who is there to spend money. And the way this guy in front of me said, she doesn't need it. She doesn't need a new one. They'll give her a percentage off. She'll be fine. When I clearly stated I would like a new one, and in front of me had me feeling a certain type of way. I've got to admit, it had me feeling a certain type of way. And you'll be proud of me. I didn't get mean and I didn't get indignant about it, but I looked at him and said, no, I would prefer a new one. Thank you. Would you mind getting it? And I tried to tip the gentleman that was helping me, and he wouldn't take it. But I really wanted to tip him for, you know, just going through the extra trouble of going in the back warehouse or wherever he had to go in Target to get that new one for me. So I'm saying this to you and I'm sharing this with you because it is the little things. What we're experiencing now is people who have experienced these little things their entire life and for generations are really at the point where we are speaking up more about the experience. We want to point it out more. We want to share what it feels like to us in the subtle little ways. It has been a part of our lives for all of our lives. And sometimes we don't even notice it. A lot of times I think about it later and I'm like, wait a minute, did that just happen? And so one of the reasons, you know, I wanted to point that particular incident out today is because of the lack of general cultural intelligence that we have, especially in America. I mean, listen, if you've grown up in America and if you've never spent time with other nations, other cultures, and had other experiences other than the American experience, you're lacking a certain amount of cultural intelligence. If you've never spent time and a significant amount of real time with people of a different race, nationality, or background from you, you are lacking a certain level of cultural intelligence. If you are, you know, if we look at all of your pictures and all of the people on your team and in your teams and in your communities, and they all have the same homogeneous look, which means they are the same color of you, you are lacking cultural inclusivity that will increase your cultural intelligence and will lessen the experience of a lot of people in this world of having you be one of those mosquito bites. And so for that reason, I am showcasing Black talent in the Diverse Talent Showcase. Now, listen, this is really, really something that's near and dear to my heart, and I would love it if you would join us. If you would, the link is in the description. Let me put it in the comments right now. That's what I'm going to do. It's in the comments right now. It's free to join, and it is 5 days. 18 experts that are just sharing about not only their wealth of knowledge and expertise in their field of service, but also sharing some of the struggles and some of the challenges they had being Black and creating a successful company. And so, you know, if nothing, it's eye-opening. It gives you a little bit more insight into what people experience, people of color experience, being the different, the darker, you know, the one that is not part of, you know, I'm sorry I giggled. I just had this thought, you know, anybody who is my age or thereabouts, middle age, there was a little song, nursery rhyme, I don't know what you want to call it. It was called Fly in the Buttermilk, Shoe Fly Shoe. That's how we feel a lot of times when we are at events where there are very few people of color. We are flies in the buttermilk. We stand out. You're looking at a glass of milk with a black fly in it, and you see it, and you're uncomfortable with it in there. You want to take it out. You don't know what to say. And you don't really know how to make that person feel included. Not this, you know, um, the diversity piece of it, but inclusion. We spoke yesterday, I think it was yesterday, on losing my words here, on a clubhouse about inclusion. And it's different from filling the quota, the performative quota of having diversity on your teams, but is really creating a space where people feel included, they don't feel different, they feel comfortable, and you're not being weird about it. And that was the word I used, not being weird about it. So I encourage you to sign up for this free diverse talent showcase. And also I'll be coming to you, letting you know next week about a live workshop that I'm doing. Now, the live workshop is going to, require a donation, but I really want to go into high performance and cultural intelligence and inclusivity so that you can, we can all be high performers. However, there's a level of high performance that creates social consciousness and inclusivity in being a high performer. It's just not business as usual anymore. And that's what came up for me with the events of last year, the racial unrest, the lockdown of the pandemic, and so many things that gave us the time and space to reflect and experience just some of the core differences that create division. And so when you want to be a part of the solution, want to be a part of coming together, join the Diverse Talent Showcase. EvaMedilek.com/Diverse Talent Showcase 2021. I want to see you there. I want you to experience what I experienced with the amazing Black talent in the community and the gifts that these people have to offer. I already have one or two in my mind that I'm going to add to my team as well, because I realize I can do better as well. It's not just a white problem. It takes a village. It takes all hands on deck to be part of the solution and not constantly just point out what the problem is. So in an effort to bring us together to create more success and intelligence and inclusivity in our personal and professional lives, the Diverse Talent Showcase is a good start. And you'll just get exposed to so many amazing people, and you'll just see the hearts like I saw. If you had any preconceived notions that you may or may not be aware of, this is going to bash them all. This is going to get rid of them all. So I look forward to seeing you there. Again, EvaMedilek.com/Diverse Talent Showcase 2021. Thank you. Have a great day. Oh, wait, I didn't tell you the dates before you go. June 14th to June 18th. Sorry about that. I'll see you there.